What does Hamlet have to do with the mosquito? Loud, whiny, irritating, and yet surprisingly murderous, Shakespeare's most famous hero, Hamlet, might actually have something in common with the mosquito. Here's a helpful table. Please look at it. Enjoy.
Well, if we look at Hamlet, we can see that he killed around 6 people. But if we look at the mosquitoes, they kill as many as 166,666 times as many people every year. So, kind of bad.
But if you've seen all my previous one video, you know that all that I really care about is etymology. As Polonius says, neither a borrower nor a lender be, except with etymology. So what does the etymology of Hamlet have to do with the etymology of the mosquito? Well, Hamlet comes from the Latin amlethus, written by 13th century Danish historian Saxo Grammaticus, and borrowed into English by way of François de Belfort's Hamlet, first written as Hamlet in English. And what about that amlethus? Well, it comes from Danish amlethai, not sure how to pronounce that, corresponding to the Old Norse amlothi, meaning fool. We can go even further backwards into the word ama from Proto-Germanic, which means to irritate. And irritation and fools, that fits with Hamlet, and also maybe with the mosquito. So let's go to mosquitoes now. Mosquito comes from the Spanish mosquito, which comes in turn from a diminutive of mosca, which comes from the Latin musca, meaning fly. Musca, fly, ama, Hamlet, amlothi. Yeah, I got nothing. There is no connection that I can see between those two words. So why am I making this video? A very good question. Yes, Hamlet and the mosquito have nothing in common. But though this be madness, yet there is method in it. For though Hamlet may have no connection with the mosquito, his love interest certainly does. Softly now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all thy etymons remembered. What is an etymon? Well, here you go. This is an etymon. And Ophelia does have a connection to the mosquito. Let's see why. The name Ophelia comes from the Italian Ophelia, from the poet Jacopo Sanazzaro, whose poem Arcadia, published in 1504, may have been where Shakespeare borrowed the name Ophelia from. And where did Sanazzaro get the name Ophelia? Well, from ancient Greek. Where else? In ancient Greek, the word Ophelia means help, aid, succor. And the companion term, Ophelos, means help or advantage. Poor Ophelia, she was driven mad by the buzzing mockery of her erstwhile suitor, Hamlet. Why don't you get thee to a nunnery, Hamlet? Okay, we're almost there. Let's come back to the mosquito for a second. Annoying, irritating, deadly. The mosquito is certainly not helpful. In fact, you might even say that it is unhelpful, that it is an ophelos, or anopheles. And guess what? That is the genus of one of the types of mosquitoes, Anopheles, that causes malaria. The unhelpful creature, the cause of malaria, the opposite of lovely Ophelia, who brings help, aid, and succor. Brevity is the soul of wit, so I will end my video here. The rest is silence. Except that I will brazenly ask you now to like and subscribe. And now I wish you good night, sweet princes and princesses, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. But see you next time for another novel anatomy.